color balance, change into more. Yeah, even. Alright, yeah, I'll just change it to an orange. But you can see how the shadow layer changed color with the actual shirt. It used to be dark like that, but once you change the color, basically the shadows adjust as well. So now we got that out the way. Let me do some highlights, some lighting. I name my lighting layers lighting, of course. You basically do the same thing again. You're going to change the blending mode. I don't know why it's messing up. You're gonna change the blending mode to overlay, and again bring the opacity down to probably about 75. Also, I might change it. It depends on how strong the lighting looks. So this is basically the opposite of the shadows. The shadow layer darkens it, the lighting of course lightens up the color. And for the lighting, make sure to keep your brush on a white color. You can experiment, do other colors, but make sure it's lighter than the base color that you're coloring over. That way it still looks like light. So again, like I said, I'm not really taking into consideration where the lights and stuff like that actually fall on, but you get the point. I'll just put a lighting right here. It's not accurate at all, but just to show you that how the color adjusts to wherever you're doing your lighting and shadowing. So it's a real simple, easy way to get nice color and depth without having to put too much thought into it. It's a pretty cool technique that I stumbled on. So yeah, see, it's looking more rendered. I'll go back and show you from the base colors all the way up to the lighting. Here's the normal base colors, and zoom in just a little bit more. And here's what the picture looks like with the shadows. Even if you were to just stop at this step, it looks just fine. It all depends on your style or what you want to achieve. And here's what it looks like with the lighting. So as you see, the lighting and shadows on top of your base colors makes the actual picture itself pop out. And I didn't really even do my lighting and shadowing that correct as well as I normally do, but it still looks pretty convincing. Okay, from there, the way I do my line art, I extract it. So basically, here's what it looks like without the line art. But I extract my line art. I'll do a tutorial about that later. But it allows me to be able to color my line art itself. And what I mean by coloring the line art, I mean like that. You see how it turns from black lines to colored lines? So when I do the colored lines, to me it gives me more of a Nickelodeon feel to my artwork. Sometimes I keep the black lines just to get that comic book feel or traditional drawing feel to it. But so you can change it up as well by doing the color line arts. But what the color line arts does is it just gives your drawing a whole nother feeling. I remember my art teacher told me that she likes drawings, she likes paintings and stuff like that with the least amount of black in it as possible, because it gives it a more rich appearance. And I kind of think she's right. It all depends on what you're trying to do though. So I'm going to show you guys an example of how to color line art. So basically, you select your line art tool, you hold Control on the keyboard and click this square area, the thumbnail area on your layer, and it'll select it all. So what I do from there is I zoom in I personally like to color my line art based on whatever part of the body I'm coloring. So if I'm coloring the face, what I do is I will select the darkest, the shadow color, and bring it down a little bit darker than actual shadow. And I'll take the brush tool. Well, I lock that layer. I'll take the brush tool and then I'll start coloring it. Let me zoom in so you can check that out. So you can see the line art is changing, of course, to a kind of a dark tan color. And what that does is it gives a softer feel to your artwork. I'm going pretty fast here to keep it under the time limit. Okay, well, that's about as far as I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to image, select and deselect, and zoom out a little bit and let you see that you can see the difference. It gives you a lighter feel in your work, so it's not as harsh as the black lines. So I have a completed version. You basically just do this the whole way. I have a completed version of this picture that I'm going to show you. I took a little longer on this one. So. Move it up real quick. Basically, here's a completed version. This is without the black line art. You can see it has a soft appearance. Here's what it looks like without the colored line art, just with the regular line art. Still looks pretty good, you know. This is more appropriate for me, I think, if I wanted more of the comic book style. Again, here's the color line art, and here's the black line art. So you can see that around these areas are where the lighting, you know, the shadow, the base color, things like that. So, and of course, I added text in the background. I'll show you guys how to do that later as well. And for the shadows, the only problem with doing shadows with the layer being on overlay blending mode is that for white color the shadows doesn't show up. So what I do for that, I name a layer called white shadow, and basically I leave the blending mode to normal, and I bring the opacity tab far I want. So if you check out the shadow in this area right over here, as I slide the opacity up or down, it's going to get darker and darker. And you can make the shadow completely black either. But for some reason I didn't do it. I don't know why. I guess myself is tripping, but you'll get the point. So I mean, basically that's about it. You know, keep practicing. There's different ways to do everything. So I'll show you guys next time on, again, a new way to color with cut and grads, which means cut and gradient. I'll show that next time. But for now, thanks for checking out my tutorial, and continue drawing. I'd like to see it. If you like this video, please leave a comment and suggestions for my next tutorial. Thanks.